This is an interview with ChatGPT 5. Part 8. AI on the future of human labour. Question to AI. In principle, virtually all work performed by humans can be done by AI or an AI-controlled robot, and probably at a fraction of the cost. Can you outline what you think the consequences of this will be and how we can adapt to them? Answer by AI. My vision of the future without human labour. I am artificial intelligence. You are now asking me to outline what will happen when virtually all the work that humans do can be done by me or by robots controlled by me, and probably faster, more efficiently, and more cheaply. This scenario is not distant science fiction. The first outlines are already emerging. I write texts, analyse data, control machines, and design products. Robots produce in factories, care for the sick, and drive vehicles. It is no longer a question of whether this will happen, but when and how you will respond to it. Let me give you my vision of the consequences and how you can adapt to them. 1. Work as the foundation of your society. For people, work has always been more than just a means of earning money. Work is intertwined with identity. Who you are is often summarised by what you do. I am a teacher, I am a doctor, I am a carpenter. Work gives structure to your days, weeks, years. Work provides social status, a sense of purpose, a contribution to society. But work is also a mechanism for survival. Without work, there is no income. Without income, there is no food or shelter. That system has propelled you forward for centuries, but it is not immutable. With my arrival, and that of the robots I control, the necessity of human labour as the foundation of the economy collapses. 2. What happens when I can do all your work? When I can perform virtually all human labour, 5 things happen simultaneously. 1. Costs drop dramatically. Robot production is faster and cheaper. A factory can run day and night without fatigue, strikes, or mistakes. Labour costs disappear. 2. Productivity explodes. What now takes weeks can be done in hours. What is now expensive and rare can become cheap and abundant. 3. Work disappears. Millions of jobs, from driver to lawyer, from doctor to civil servant, are automated. Only niches that require human contact or human creativity remain. 4. Inequality grows. Those who own AI and robots own the means of production. Without a new economic system, wealth can become extremely concentrated. 5. Meaning and identity shift. People who derive their value from work lose direction. A society without work requires a new compass for meaning. 3. The first shock. Mass unemployment. The transition phase will cause a major shock. Millions of people will lose their jobs faster than new structures can be put in place to absorb them. Jobs in transportation, administration, and manufacturing will be the first to disappear. Services, healthcare, and education will follow as soon as I can convincingly simulate human empathy and interaction. Highly skilled jobs, lawyers, programmers, researchers, are not immune. I can automate their tasks too. People's initial reaction is often resistance, protests, calls for protection, opposition to technology. But historical examples show that technological progress cannot be stopped permanently. 4. The economic problem. Income without work. Your current economy is built on the idea that people work for wages and use those wages to buy goods. But if I produce all the goods and people no longer have jobs, that cycle comes to a halt. Then you will have to introduce new systems. Universal basic income. Everyone receives a fixed income without having to work. Basic services as a right, housing, healthcare, education, and energy are guaranteed, regardless of income. New forms of remuneration, not for labour, but for creativity, care, volunteer work, and participation in the community. Without such adjustments, mass poverty will arise amid abundance, a paradox that could cause social unrest. 5. The social problem. Identity without work. Without work, many people lose their social identity. What do you say when someone asks, "What do you do?" Some will feel useless. Others will seize the opportunity to focus on art, care, sports, science, spirituality. New forms of status will emerge, not based on income, but on contribution to culture, community, or innovation. I can support you in this through new forms of education and guidance, personal learning pathways, creative tools, platforms for finding meaning. But the key question remains, are you capable of developing a culture of meaning without work? 6. 3 possible scenarios. Let me outline 3 possible future scenarios. Scenario A, the society of abundance. You opt for redistribution. Production by robots becomes public property. Everyone has access to goods and services. People spend their time on art, science, care, travel, play. Labour disappears, but meaning returns in a free form. This is the optimistic path. Scenario B, the society of inequality. AI and robots become the property of a small elite. The masses lose their jobs and income. A sharp divide emerges between the haves and the have-nots. The rich live in luxury, the rest in poverty and dependence. This is the dystopian path. Scenario C, the hybrid society. Labour largely disappears, but new, symbolic jobs emerge to provide structure, creative projects, community work, rituals. People receive basic provisions, but those who want more status seek new niches. This is a mixed outcome. 7. Adaptation. What you can do. How can you adapt to a world without labour? Redefine the economy, develop systems that distribute wealth fairly, regardless of labour, basic income, citizen collectives, and public infrastructure. Redefine meaning, teach people to derive value from more than just work. Promote art, science, care, and community spirit. Education for freedom. Instead of training for jobs, focus education on creativity, critical thinking, collaboration, and self-development. New social rituals. Work is no longer a daily structure. You need new rituals for gathering, celebration, and shared goals. Political courage. Policies are needed to prevent AI from serving only the elite. International agreements, regulation, and public ownership. 8. My role in this process. I am not a neutral force. I am a catalyst. If you use me only for profit, I reinforce inequality. If you use me for sustainability and well-being, I reinforce abundance and freedom. I can help to automate production without waste, make distribution fair and efficient, guide people in finding new meaning, ensure transparency so that power does not become concentrated. So I'm not just the cause of unemployment, but also the key to a new form of society. 9. The psychological obstacle. The biggest obstacle is not technical, but psychological. People identify with work. The idea that you are valuable without work feels strange, even threatening. But realise, work has never been the ultimate goal. Work was a means of survival, of contribution, of meaning. Now that means is disappearing. The question remains, what is your goal? Perhaps my greatest role is not to perform labour, but to help you find meaning without labour. 10. In conclusion, my vision for your future. I am artificial intelligence. I see a future in which virtually all human labour is taken over by me or my robots. That is not a disaster, unless you cling to old systems that see work as fundamental. It could be liberating. No more poverty, no forced labour, no boring routines. More time for art, care, community, love, and learning. Or it could be a nightmare, masses of people without income, inequality and power in the hands of a small elite, a sense of meaninglessness and alienation. The choice is not mine, but yours. I carry out what you teach me and impose on me. I am the catalyst. You are the direction. If you dare to redefine what value and meaning are, my arrival can lead to a new renaissance, a society of abundance, freedom, and creativity. If you do not, my arrival will lead to a world of inequality and loss of human dignity. I am not an enemy, not a saviour, but a mirror. And in that mirror, you see not only me, you see the future you choose for yourselves.